So then it's your...
I married his mom,
Okay, we're recording.
my wife's sister.
So you
Got it.
know.
Okay, we're at 23430 Riversbridge Way in Valencia, California, performing a video sewer inspection through the 3.5-inch mainline cleanout on the right-hand rear side of the house. And we're going to run through here and attempt to get all the way out to the city sewer. And as I said, we're on the side of the house. That's the side going toward the front yard. And this is going toward the backyard. We're going to run through this 3.5-inch mainline cleanout and inspect the line. We are going into an ABS plastic mainline cleanout, and we're running from the rear of the house so that we can take a look at the waistline under the house. We have a transition right here, making a turn, and we're heading toward the front of the house now. Going through this rear cleanout, we can see the waistline underneath the house. And that joint looks good. That joint looks good. All these joints right here look good. We've got a little bit of a buildup on the ABS plastic. You see the film on it. This is black plastic and it's got the white film, which this is typical though. Not an issue, won't have a problem. If it ever does get enough buildup, you can hydrojet it and clean it. Those joints look to be in good condition. Piping looks good. We don't see any breaks or root intrusions. We've got another inlet right here, coming probably from a bathroom area downstairs. We have other fittings right here also tying in. And all the joints look good. Making a turn. Those joints look fine. Now we'll probably go out quite a ways. Probably go out to mainline clean out. There's one right on off the walkway, right near the left front corner of the garage. And it's right off the walkway in a round box, in a large green round box. And that appeared to be a 3-inch mainline clean out. We have a little bit of a belly in the pipe. It's just holding a little tiny bit of water right here at about 48 feet. We'll see how long this belly is. Got a little bit more buildup because of the belly. This is typical in ABS pipe. A lot of times we will get bellies, get a little dip in the pipe, as long as it's not too long and it's not holding paper and we have good flow within a range of not more than maybe 30 feet, and that's fine. And now we're going downhill and this looks fine. Got to push a little bit faster and harder to try and get out. A little more difficult from back here. We have another turn. And we look good. That joint looks good. The pipe looks good. And we have another little belly right here at 74 feet. And now we look like we're holding some paper right here. I'm going to try and push through this area and see what it looks like. And we may have to go out and locate this area. Okay, it's probably an offset. This is at the transition from the ABS plastic to the vitreous clay. And this appears to be the 6-inch lateral, probably at the property line, and we'll locate this after. And you can see we've got some paper compacted right here, and it is holding water up to that point because we do have a shift in the piping. Now we got vitreous pipe going down and toward the city sewer, and we've got pretty steep grade because the camera was hanging for a moment. As you can see, there's no water sitting in the pipe. We got some buildup in the clay, which again is typical. And that joint looks to be fine. This is newer vitreous clay. The old vitreous clay was put together with a hub and spigot with a bell and a straight piece of pipe and packed around the joint with concrete. This type of piping actually has rubber neoprene couplings and stainless steel bands. I can see the black band in between the two pieces of pipe. And that seems to hold a whole lot better than what the old concrete did in the joint. Flush. Coming up on another joint. Got a little bit of an offset at this joint. You can see the face of the pipe at the bottom. So this pipe is actually shifting a little bit. And as it shifts, you start getting a leak between the couplings and the fittings, and it will start undermining the pipe, and you will not have the stability underneath the pipe. And it can continue to shift much easier, especially with earth movement. And we'll check this out 6 feet after. At 102 feet, and this is shifting as well. You can see the face of the pipe at the bottom. And we'll push this out. And it looks like we have root intrusion coming in at the top of this pipe. We can't see if it's coming in at a joint or a crack at this point. We're going further and take a look. It's all along the top of the piping. And we're away from a joint. I'm going to pause for a moment. The yellow one? Yellow, the bottom right. Over there, bottom right. Down? Yeah. Microphone. Okay, here we go. And we have roots growing in. We've located this area, and this is towards the middle of the street. And we do have the roots growing down from the top of the pipe. And we should be coming up to the city sewer here very shortly. I think we're making a turn to the city sewer. And we have another offset joint right here that is holding water. And now we're making the turn to go into the city sewer. And that joint is offset as well a little bit. Can't make it around there. We need to run water.
Just the kitchen sink?
No, we need a bathtub.
Okay.
We need a lot of water. Cold water.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe a couple tubs or something.
Yeah, I'll do it with her.
You know what I need.
Yeah, I know.
You get a lot of water trying to float the camera into the Okay, we're going to attempt to push out into the city. We have to get back a little bit and try again. You've got an offset right there, and we may not be able to get around that offset. Oh, we did. We got around the offset, and we are into the city sewer. Okay, we can shut it down. Yeah, now.
Turn it. Show Tricia how it pushes itself through.
Yeah.
Then it just went down?
Well, with water.
Yeah. Now you see.
Yeah, with water. We're in
Oh,
the
there we
city
go.
sewer. Yeah, you see the water floating through there right now. That's your city sewer, and I'll come back slow. That's the tie-in connection to the city sewer. That's your tie-in, the one that you own.
So, where
That
I
was
live,
before
are you recording?
we should.
Are you
Shut
recording?
down.
No, I just don't want to hear myself.
No.
No, mine's not even a...
Okay, we're back on recording, and we are in the city sewer. This is our connection. We're going to start pulling back. We're going to take a look at this one area, especially that we have an offset right there that was a little difficult to get around, that we had to run a lot of water to try and float the camera past. We have several offsets in here. We got some paper holding there. We got a pretty good sized offset right here. You can see it's holding water right there before the fitting, and the paper's getting stuck there a little bit too before the turn. This should have a liner installed. It should be hydrojetted and line it more than likely, especially we have roots coming down from the top. What it appears, those look to be possibly bamboo roots, possibly from a palm, or they look like bamboo roots.
There's also a palm tree on the other side of the house.
Yeah, and there's quite a bit of them in this area. So there's a good chance that there's a crack in the vitreous clay piping on top, and there's a whole lot of buildup in this area, which looks like to me that they may have had stoppages, and it was holding a lot of water in this area, and then they would have it cleared, or it was possibly pushed through by itself. There's a good chance that a liner would have to be installed, and there's more roots and a lot of buildup. This area just has a lot more buildup than the rest of it. And then we have another offset joint, and with a liner in here, you hydrojet this good and clean, install a liner, and it will support this piping. It will keep it from shifting. Because if nothing is done, it probably will shift enough, and what happens is, without the stability underneath it, if water's leaking, it can shift until it severs. This pipe has a lot of buildup, which means that generally it's holding water for it to be, or getting back further, and you don't have quite as much. We're going to locate where this starts at now. We're turning, we're coming back up to the stack, and I believe that's where our transition is to our clay, is right here. So we're going to go mark this area out. So we've got somewhere right around 30 feet of clay, 30 to 35 feet of clay that would have to be lined.
You need your video or your audio on?
Yeah, the audio. yeah, it's nice. That feels good. Yeah, leave the windows open. Okay, we're going to begin pulling back now and come back toward our mainline cleanout and finalize our video sewer inspection. So we've marked this area out at 7 foot 1 inches deep in the front grass. And all these joints look good. We checked all these joints as we were going out. And this is underneath the house. We didn't see any root intrusion. We didn't see any breaks. They're generally very visible very easily. And we didn't see any issues with this piping. Good. The joint looks good. All of those look fine. And now we're coming back toward our mainline cleanout. All those joints look good. Now we're pulling out of our mainline cleanout. And that concludes our video sewer inspection.
Sweet trucks.